Alright guys, this is the tutorial for the steep quote-unquote roofs. Um, the original video I posted, I got through the entire thing and realized that I did a terrible job at telling you how to make the corners. I am not very video savvy, and I tried to re-upload or tried to make a new video, edit it together and re-upload, and it just didn't work. I'm not very good at all of that. It worked, but it didn't flow. It was dumb. So I'm gonna remake it. Um, so if you've already watched all this, you can kind of skip ahead until you see me messing with corners, and then if you want to watch how to actually do it properly, you can. So anyway, the purpose of this video is to get a steeper roof than the normal max steepness 45 degrees, okay? What we're looking at, this is the three styles that I have found of building roofs, right? So we have, these are all 45 degrees, right? But this is the normal, right? So this is a 2 wide area, two of them together. And this is, you know, just normal roof stuff. It's 3 high off the ground, or it's 2 high, 2 wide, right? Because this is technically the floor, or whatever. So this is 2 high, 2 wide, right? This is the style that I built the church with. I call it the half style, and I will get into building both of these. But this one gives you an extra half wall of steepness for every 2. So you see it's 2 wide, but it's 2.5 tall, right? So this is just a little bit extra steepness, and you can see the steepness difference between them from this angle right here, right? And then this one is 2 wide. This is called the quarter method, and this gets you 3 tall for 2 wide. Okay, so the steepness is varying a lot between these, right? And from the outer edge, this just kind of looks more like shingles, right? So we'll get into building them really quick. I'm going to try not to have a 30-minute video like I did the first time. We're just going to knock this out. So the most important thing is your starter block, and you want to make sure you get your starter block correct. So like I said in the last video, if you're looking to get the overhang, the 1x1 overhang right here, so it has more of a, you know, border, so to speak, what you're going to want to do is you want to set that up first. Before you get into layering, you want to make sure your first roof tile is exactly lined up to the way you want it. So if you don't know how to do that really quick, how to do the overhang, you're going to start with a 1 meter beam. You're going to go in towards it 90 degrees. You're going to go down. That's going to make this like triangle L shape. You're going to take a 2 meter beam and you're going to cross it. That right there is the halfway point. This is all important. This technique right here, this L into a 2 meter beam, is the basis for all of these roofs. So it's really good to learn that as a way to find the halfway point on a 45. Now, if we wanted to get the overhang real fast, just in case anybody's curious, you just use that as a snap point like that, and it's a little bit of an overhang. If you wanted it to be, as you can see right here, if you wanted it to be overhang out as well, or if you want to do an outward overhang, all you have to do is obviously go out a half beam, right? So you're just gonna, that's an outward overhang. And if you want it to go out a little bit, and you want it to have that little bottom overhang, you're gonna kick this out, then you're gonna do the same L pattern on this. Give yourself 1 beam back to the middle, and then you use that as your snap. And now we have the overhang we wanted, with 1 overhang here, 1 overhang over the side right there, and it has that corner look to it, right? So that's if you want to do that. But we're not going to really harp on that too much. That was just if you didn't know, now you know. So we're going to get into this build. Alright, so this is our base block, okay? Again, we're going to do the L design to get to the halfway point. Now, the first thing I'm building is the half roof, okay? Now what I'm doing is I'm going to make this L, and this one's very easy. Compared to the last one, it's extremely easy. So now we have this halfway point, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a log beam. Now, like I said before, log beams are very cool. They have a very good interaction with wood beams because they can snap above and below. Okay, and like I was showing earlier, I have a sort of a layered plank wall that I build a lot on my builds, shown on Reddit, with the beams, and it actually is made by stacking core logs, and you get this snap point for the beams that looks like this, and then you can actually come from behind them. We'll do it like right here. Oh no, do it at the bottom. Bottom's better. You're gonna get a snap point. You're not gonna get a snap point, but you're gonna get it free placed somewhere about middle. Alright, and imagine that was like your first wall. You take all these down. We're gonna remove drops real fast. So now you have this beam, and if you wanted to finish this wall out, you just wham bam it like this. You gotta get it to snap to that beam. That is snap to that beam. Okay, and then you want to go below it real quick. I wish this was faster. I think that is okay. So then you're gonna go snap, snap. You see how that's doing that? It's giving you that layered look. And what you would do is you would just take these beams all the way up, the same as you did with the first one, first layer, so to speak, and you just pop these beams in. I was going to make another video about this, but it's actually just so much easier to show you real quick. So that's that. It looks really good. It looks good on both sides. It's a great wall. But we don't care about that right now. But if you're interested and you want more information on that for some reason, just let me know. Anyway, back to this. So we're doing the beam. We're going to snap it at the top of that middle beam. We're going to throw another beam on top of that. Now that snap point that you just made, that's going to give you the layer that you want for the next 45, okay? You're going to snap to that beam, and now you're going to just continue up. Now, there's two support beams for this. This beam right here, the one I'm looking at, that counts as a support beam. It's transferring this support to that support, so to speak. But you can also put one underneath, and you actually need these snaps anyway for the next layer up. So I personally don't like having these beams here, and you don't need that either. I don't like having them on the outside because I'm already going to need them on the inside, and they just look cluttery. So we're going to, next one up, we just snap to the normal snap point of this roof. Take a log, put it there. Put one up on that. Come over here. Drop you a 2-meter beam. Come up here. Snap that to that. Get rid of your logs. And as you can see, this is coming together. Make sure you put your support in. Put that support in for now just because. Go ahead and do it. I like to kind of get my beams going pretty fast. That was a bad snap. Bam, bam. Put that there. Keep going up, and you kind of get the point of this roof. Already, it's not that hard. It's just rotating core logs, wood beams, snapping your roof, right? Oh, sorry, saved. Alright. And now, you can get rid of all these. You don't need any of these. Net structure, I'm at the limit. It's fine. So, like I was saying earlier, it takes a long time for this to update in the game, that this is like red or whatever. As you can see, it's barely going. It's taking forever. So This is how you do the half, and I call it that because obviously you're cutting each one in half and going up, right? If you wanted to do a corner, I'm going to do that really fast for you because I did not get to the corner in the last video for these. I kind of did. It was literally what I was explaining, but I was explaining it for the quarter because I messed up on that one. So we're not going to spend too much time on this, but if you wanted to make this a corner, you're going to grab your corner and you're going to snap it to the bottom, okay? You're going to take this whole row up and you're going to do exactly what we were doing in the end of the last video if you saw it. Damn, I didn't put my support beams in. That's on me. Gotta put these in. You will have a bad time if you do not put those in. You're gonna have a bad time. Alright, so each one of these going up is a half beam in, okay? So, or 1 meter in. So this one is snapping to a 2 meter, which means the next one is going to snap to a 1 meter there. The next one after that is going to snap 1 meter in from there. And then the next one is going to snap 1 meter off of this one, okay? It's all stairs, like a 1 meter every time, okay? You just hit those snaps like that. Voila, you have a straight corner. You fill in your holes by snapping them to the corner, like that, and now you're good to go. Like I said in the last video, continue out with your beams from that corner like so, and if you want to keep them in this staggered formation, the next time you get to a corner it'll make it a lot easier for you because they'll already be set up in the correct stagger. Okay, so you really don't have to do one corner with the weird stagger, and then you just keep building your roof tiles out the same way, and every time you get to a corner it'll be good. It'll be fine. You won't have to do much work. Alright, so that's that done. Kind of breeze through that one. That one's pretty easy. Okay, the hard part of this comes from the next thing I'm about to show you, which is the quarter. The quarter is the time-consuming, annoying process. Once you get it set, once you get your first 4 placed, the rest of them are pretty easy. It's all snaps after that. But the corner is really tricky because you're going to be using half of a 1 meter block. You're going to be using 0.5 meters as snap points, and it's very strange, so I'll get to it as fast as I can. Alright, you're going to do that and that again, and you're going to hit this middle point again. Okay, that's the key to all this, is finding the middle. Now I'm sure you've seen this part on Reddit before, but there's a way to get to use wooden doors as snap points to get like halfway in between like 1 meter wide things to get that half meter snap. So you're going to take and snap it to the right side of that beam, and you're going to take another beam and come under it on the right side of the door and hit that snap, and you're going to delete the door. Now you have officially made the first quarter snap. Okay, so then from there you're going to take your log beam on the middle, make sure you're on the middle one still. We're going to beam up from that. Now we're doing that for the purposes of the door, because we got to get the third snap, which is the third quarter. So we're going to take the door, we're going to go over to the left this time, get that snap down, put a 2 meter beam under, and I only do it under because it's so much easier to snap. You're going to get that snap on the door and delete the door again. Okay, clean it up, and your last snap is going to be on the end. So you got 4 snaps. Don't need this. So you got 4 going. Okay, now I know that looks weird, but what I'm about to do, it'll make sense. This first beam, that's good. That's your first roof snap. You don't want to mess with that. But from here on out, you're going to want to go up 2 beams each time. Okay, so the first one is going to be, see how that's 2 beams higher? The next snap, which is this one, you need to get it 2 beams higher than the previous one. Okay, so we have this snap, this snap, and this snap. See, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then the last one does the same thing. You want to be 2 higher than the previous beam. Okay? And that should be good. Excuse me. Hit your snaps. Now you're 2 higher. Okay? So once you do that, get rid of your core logs because they get in the way. Alright, clean it up. Now we're going to do our roof snaps. Okay? So we're going to rotate, snap to the top beam. Each time we're snapping to the top. Snapping to the top. And voila. Now we come in. And like I said before, you only need the support at the end of each roof. That's the only beam you need. Okay, everything else can be gone. You can get rid of it. So you just need these snaps. Now, once you get this snapped out. So we're going to just go through really quick while we can see everything and easily access the beams. From the side, we're going to get rid of all these excess beams that we don't need. Okay, if you're doing this in survival mode, you're going to get you a lot of wood back on that one. Alright, so this is what this roof looks like now. As you can see, it's got the shingle effect going on, and it is a lot steeper. Now what we're going to do from here, as you can see, this is red. It takes forever to update that's red. We're going to put a support in really fast, even though we're going to get rid of this extremely quick. Actually, we probably just support it. We're just going to have to get rid of it really quickly. Oh, that's not what I wanted. This is not going to stay. This is more just to make sure that this doesn't fall when I'm about to build out. So I'm going to show you how to do a corner on this one really quick. Super fast and simple. We're going to do 3 out just because I know how much it's going to have to be out. I mean, it's when you're making a corner in, you know, up a long ways, it eats into a lot of your roof, obviously. So we're here now. We want to start the roof right here, and this is where I was wrong in the last video. I told you the way to do this roof was to do the 1 meter stepping stones all the way up on the beams, and that was wrong. That was for the previous roof, and I knew it looked weird, but I couldn't really put my finger on why. It was just a brain fart. So I kind of took a minute to figure out what I did wrong, and now I'm going to show you how to actually do this properly, because that is the main thing, is we can do it properly. So put your supports in. You're going to forget these a lot probably, and then you're going to regret it when everything falls. Trust me, happens all the time. So we got our support beams in. Now these are important for the corner. Each one of these going up is going to be a 1/2 meter inward. It's because we're doing 1/2 meter roofs up, like this little distance is a 1/2 meter each time. So that's why it's all geometry and stuff. But I mean, it doesn't. None of that matters. All that matters is you just get the beam right. Okay, the math is pointless. So the first one is snapping to a 2, which means the next one needs to snap like somewhere right in here, like a 1.5. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 1, and we're out with a 1. Now we can't snap to that because it's going to do this janky stuff, where it's going to be off-centered. You see how that's off-centered? The line doesn't line up. We want it to be centered. So what we have to do is from this beam, we gotta make it a 1/2 wide, okay, hanging off the edges. It's gotta be 1.5. So we're gonna take our 1 meter beam. We're gonna snap it at an L. We're gonna go in and get our door again, because remember, that's the only way you can really get 1/2 snaps. We're gonna snap it off the right side of that 1 wide beam. Get that snap in, and or that 1 meter beam. We get that snap in. We're gonna snap another 1 meter beam. Oh no, we're not. We don't need to. I'm sorry. I figured that out in the testing this. I don't need to do that. You just take your 1 meter beam from this point right here, and you can get it to snap right there. You want it to snap even with the right side of the door. So you can see that it's even right there. So we're gonna snap, and that is 1.5 out. Okay, see how it's like right at the halfway mark of that. So we delete that, we delete that. Now we have 1.5 meters out. Okay, so we're gonna take our 45 roof, snap to that. You see how that's straight as an arrow. Look at that, beautiful. So then next one we do is a half meter in from this. This is 1.5, which means that the next one is just an easy 1. Okay, so 1 meter in, rotate, snap. Look at that, straight. The next one in is a half meter. Okay, so a half meter is what we're gonna do. Take this out because it's in the way. So the half meter is going to be off of this, make the L, okay? Off of the 2 meter, okay? You're gonna make an L. You're gonna throw your door back up there, get that snap point right, hanging off the right side. Take your 1 meter beam, turn it, make sure it snaps to that bottom right corner of the door. Get that snap, delete this door, delete that little L. Now you have your half meter. You're gonna take your 45 and you're gonna attach it right there, just like so. And then the last one is going to be, in this sequence, since that one was 2, and then it was 1.5, and then 1, and then a half, the next one is obviously 0. Well, we don't really have a 0, but what we do is we just attach it to the 2 meter beam previous to it. So, like that right there. Your normal beams. So as you can see, this is going a half down, all the way down, and it makes a very perfectly straight 90-degree corner. Then you just come in here with your cover up, you snap it to each roof tile so that it doesn't give you any weird look hanging out, like so, like so, like so. Like that one, and this one just snaps to that beam. You're good to go. As you can see, perfectly turned corner, everything is copacetic, we're all happy. Happy, healthy, hungry, whatever, that's what I tell my cat. Right, we're here. We got all our beams out. These are our support beams making that turn. Oh, we got one more. Do we not have one more? We do not have one more. I feel like I'm missing one. I am not missing one. I am missing one. It's at the top. Okay. See? I'm not an expert. And all you gotta do right here is just snap to your beams. Like so. And voila. You got the turn going, everything is good. You can even these out if you want. Like I said, I'd keep them this way because it makes it easier when you get to the next corner. The same thing for this applies. The same kick out, so to speak, like the quarter kick, whatever you want to call it. I don't really know. But the same thing applies when you're doing inverted, okay? And what I mean is, if I wanted to do an inverted here, these are all still layered out in a quarter or half a meter, whatever you want to call them. They're all still layered out, okay? And because of that, I can get this easy snap that normally wouldn't be easy. I'd have to do the door method, okay? But because I have these are still layered out and I'm doing an inverse, okay. Doing the inverse. As you can see, turns out perfectly straight up, and then you can just build off of that. So as you can see, that's how you do your turns. It's not very hard. It is hard to get it set up. Once you get this set up, it is all snapping the rest of the time. Make sure you keep your support beams going. You might have to throw an iron beam up every now and then, or whatever, core log, whatever you're using. You just want to make sure you can keep going down, keep snapping. That is the key to this, and that's what I pride myself in, is to make sure to make it as easy as possible for anybody with snapping. Free placing sucks. I try to do it as least as I can. So there you go. I hope you enjoy it. I apologize. And as a side note, if anybody cares about the church and the support system I have inside of it, like I showed in the last video, it is nutty in here. I used too many supports. I didn't really need this many. But like I said, it takes a while for the game to update when you're doing those the roofs like that. So because of that, I put more than I needed. And up here at the very top, near the like cathedral top, I used a lot of horizontal iron. If you don't use these, you should. It takes the support from the ground. Like that's what iron does, right? It takes the support from the ground and transfers it all the way up. So as you can see, this is orange, but that's just orange because of the iron beam. It can only go so high. But whatever it touches is going to get ground, as you can see, blue. So that's how that works. But the horizontal beams are great because you can take these horizontal beams and go out, and whatever they touch gets blue because they transfer it along. So it kind of just skips, like a foundation skip, right? And that's all you got to do when you're building big stuff. I don't know if anybody cared, but that was a little side note. Um, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a little bit. Little flyby of the church real fast. Little stone golem things up here I think are cool. Um, anyway, yeah, this is going to be a village. Uh, this is like a weird island thing I got going on. So, my little longhouse over here. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions, hit me on Reddit. If you want to see the wall stacking in action, I have a couple builds loaded with that already up, and I can show you how to do it if you're interested. But have a good day, and thank you.